Hi guys, Justine here. I just wanted to do a quick video today to talk about purpose and passion. And sometimes those worlds collide, obviously. I think we're meant to feel passionate about our purpose. I believe that everybody has a unique purpose. And it's not necessarily our job, but it can be part of it. And I've done a lot of work on this kind of topic with a mentor of mine, Maston Kipp, within the past year or so, and also a lot of readings from Doreen Virtue, a lot of her books and things like this talk about what I'm going to get into today, and I want to keep this as short as possible. I took a few notes just so I can stay on track, but this is really just what I'm feeling today, so I wanted to share it, and I just felt guided to share it. So these are just a few signs of purpose, and signs that mean, they're indicators that you are on track and in alignment with a purpose, with your unique purpose. Everyone's purpose and life path looks totally different, and that's okay and that's good, So example is me with my artistry. There are a million artists on the planet, and that doesn't mean that mine is any less or any more significant than anyone else's art. My art is my art, and it's unique to me. And same goes for everybody else, right? So the thing that I've really been coming to realize is that when you have a purpose, it is so much bigger than we can even comprehend logically. On a spiritual level, on an energetic level, our purpose, I don't think we will ever be able to fully understand how big it is. Every single person on this planet has a unique purpose that is meant to be fulfilled, that was created by you, by your own soul, and what you wish to experience in this lifetime. And the impact that we have on people, I've talked about this before and I'll say it again, the impact that we have on other human beings is so huge. And I don't think we realize that. I think it's so easy to forget, and I fall into this myself sometimes, even as an artist, and even as being a public speaker, and even as being a spiritual mentor, and even as all of these things that I am. I also forget that I even impact people at all. I mean, whether that be people in my immediate environment, which is constantly changing, or, the world at large. Like, I obviously, I have a lot of times where I do forget that I impact people in a positive way, whether that be friends, family, supporters of mine. Like, just, you don't even realize the impact that you make on strangers that you meet along your journey of life, teachers and students and all of these things. So anyway, my point is that I am an artist, but I'm not just an entertainer, and this is something that I'm coming to realize, and I wanted to share this because I really hope and feel that this can help somebody else. Even if you're not an artist, these are just some things that I've noticed. So first point is that there's this inner yearning and silent scream. So I do a lot of things as an artist. Like, I'm a visual artist, I'm a musician, I'm a writer, I'm a composer, I do a lot of things. I do acting, photography. Like, there are a lot of things that I like to do, jewelry making. And sometimes my energy gets spread a little too thin, to be honest, and I do a lot of different things. I think it's important to have different outlets for different things. Like painting, like drawing. There's so many little things that I like to do that I'm passionate about that are positive, creative, healthy outlets for me. And I think it's important to have many things on the go. It's part of being an entrepreneur. It's part of making it work. And that's just kind of what it's like to live that kind of life, and not just from like an earning money standpoint. Like, yes, from that business standpoint too, where you're trying to get income from multiple sources that you enjoy being an entrepreneur, but also having multiple creative outlets is really important, I feel, because there are certain times where you're done one project and your focus can't be on one specific thing anymore that you've been working on for X amount of time. And so your focus needs to shift and change and mold into something else, which I think is just part of a natural flow that happens in life. However, when your purpose is involved, there is this kind of inner yearning and inner silent scream that will come if you're not paying attention to the core of your purpose. So my example obviously is music. Music is always my number one priority. It's my number one focus, and it's probably the biggest component of the, I'm just picturing like a pie chart. Like it's the biggest piece of pie for me in regards to my work and in regards to my purpose. There are a lot of other things that I do, but that's my number one. But if I spend too much time focusing on other aspects of my life and other things, other creative outlets, and I'm not doing enough writing and I'm not performing, like there's this scream, this angry scream inside of me, like inner child trying to express, and if I'm not allowing myself to use that outlet, it means I'm not helping myself and I'm not helping others in the way that I need to. So that's a really big indicator that it's more than just a passion, and that it's part of your purpose because you need it for you and other people need it from you as well. So along with that comes ego-based fears. And like I said earlier, I've been working with Mastin Kipp a little bit on this, and also reading Doreen Virtue's new book. It's called The Courage to Be Creative. And Doreen talks a lot about this in her teachings as well, and so does Mastin. It comes up, Mastin calls them survival patterns, and essentially what happens is the closer you get to fulfilling your dreams and your life purpose, if you will, the more fears you're going to have come up. Your ego is going to come with crazy thoughts and fears and distractions, and honestly sometimes it's hard to even be conscious of what those things are because it's so sneaky and it's so easy to fall into these illusions and egoic traps. So essentially I am human, and I've fallen into this too, where I have this fear sometimes that comes up, even if it's subconsciously, that if I fulfill my dreams and if I continue to allow myself to become more and more raw and vulnerable and open and honest in my relationships and in my work, then I'm going to die. And that's the silly egoic fear, is if I allow myself to have more time to write, if I allow myself to go there and be emotional and write out all these raw emotions and expose a deeper side of me than I have ever done before, I could be rejected by a lot of people. It's going to come with a lot of criticism, blah, 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 blah. Like there's all these fears, right? And it's just human. And the reality is, when you avoid and distract yourself from your, not just your passions, but from your purpose and what you're meant to be doing, that's when you feel dead inside. And so that's a really big indicator as well, that you're on the right track, and you are, you know where you're going, and kind of have a sense of what your purpose entails, is when fears keep coming up more than usual, and you have more distractions, whether that be some sort of addiction or even craving unhealthful foods or things you're allergic to. These are signs to look out for. Or just distracting yourself with social media addiction. I mean, you name it. There are so many things that we can distract ourselves with these days, and everyone can fall into this. It's totally normal to have this experience, but it's a huge indicator that you're not focusing on something that you need to be focused on, and that there's fear there. So instead of getting mad at yourself about it, be curious. Why am I distracting? Why am I craving extra coffee? More caffeine than I usually do, even though I know that it makes my stomach upset. That's an example for me. Or why am I spending so much time on social media? Why is that more important? Why is how I dress more important than how I feel? That kind of thing. I've recently pulled off of social media because I'm still on, but not as much as I used to be, because it was a total delay and distraction tactic from my ego, and it became more important to my mind to try to feel a sense of worth and feel a sense of accomplishment by what I was seeing and what I was posting online. And it's so much more important for me to be clean and purified as much as possible, to be eating clean and thinking clean and taking care of me and purging and writing and making these new creations that are really raw and vulnerable. It is not easy to go there, and I think that's a big part of living one's purpose. You know, it's not just about the awards and the shiny things that we show off to people, whether it be on social media or whether it just be us trying to get a sense of approval from others, whether it's family or friends or our partners or just the world at large. It is obviously so exciting to live the high moments in life when you're achieving and when you're doing what you love. Like, obviously that's a really high feeling, but it's so vital that we go through the darker times, and it just naturally comes with living your purpose, I believe. You have to learn how to navigate and face your deepest fears and your deepest addictions and demons, and try your best to allow yourself to go there, because it's not going to kill you to go there. If there's anything I've learned, it's that what really kills you, it feels like it kills you, is when you're avoiding and when you're not fulfilling your purpose, when you're not doing what you know you should be doing. Because that's really what feels like death, I feel. And honestly, I feel so much better once I allow myself to write new songs or to film a new video or to connect to people in a new, raw, vulnerable way. When I share more of myself, yeah, obviously it comes with natural fears and stuff, but that's human, and it doesn't kill me to go deeper. If anything, it makes me feel more alive. So be sure to pay attention to those things. Another thing is, if you feel just, like I said, if you feel totally lost and miserable without practicing whatever it is that your purpose and passion is, it's a sign that you need to be doing it for you, and that others need it as well, that the world needs it, and that it is probably your purpose. If you feel called to do it for yourself, for healing purposes, and if you feel called to help others, the collective, big sign that it is definitely more than just a passion, that it is your purpose. So I hope these things have helped you today, just to kind of indicate some of the fears and the illusions that come up in your brain. I know it's a really challenging thing. Certainly helps to have a mentor or a good friend that you trust to call you out on things, and try your best to call yourself out on things as well. I always try to do that myself, but honestly, like, a lot of these things are subconscious and they're hidden and you don't realize right away. I didn't realize until half the day was over that I felt miserable today because I was repressing a lot of emotions that I didn't want to go and delve into. But really, that's what's going to free me, is writing. And that's just what it is for me right now. So anyway, I hope this helps. If you want to contact me, you can go to my website, justinegiles.com. You can email me at justines.stream@gmail.com or justinegilesmusic@gmail.com. And I do have some mentoring and angel card services as well. So if you are looking for a little bit of spiritual guidance, I am available right now. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.